We'll discuss some important questions from environmental science. So first question is, to say that environmental science is mission oriented means it is what? A highly organized endeavor, or essential and information gathering endeavor, oriented towards solving problems. So oriented towards solving problem is right answer. The main problem facing environmental science is to identify how environmental problems occur, correct? Socially acceptable solutions to environmental problems, correct? Practical solutions to environmental problems, correct? So right answer is all of the above. Next, Dex is considered the catalyst of modern awareness of the threat of toxic pollution and the notion of environmentalism. The right answer is Raquel Carson. Raquel Carson. Next, about decks of the world's people currently lack access to clean water, adequate diet, basic sanitation, and other essential needs. Is the right answer is 1 billion people lacks all the basic sanitation and facilities. Then sustainable development means improving people's life in the present in a way that can continue for far into future. It can continue far into future. The right answer is this. Indigenous peoples are important in environmental considerations because their homelands contain natural habitats, at least that, their homelands contain natural habitats least disturbed by humans, correct? Their homelands contain a huge proportion of earth's biodiversity, correct? Their languages present encoded knowledge of nature that is irreplaceable, that is also correct. So all of the above is correct. Next, the earliest documented recognition that misuse of the natural environment can have nasty consequences was written by Plato writings 2500 years ago is the right answer. Next, the Human Development Index used as general indicator of human well-being is based on measures is the right answer is life expectancy, literacy rate, and availability of clean water is the measurement of human indicator of human well-being. Okay. Next, the position that nature deserves to be protected on its own right is called biocentric preservation. Biocentric preservation. Dex constitutes 4.5% of the world's people, yet produces 50% of all the toxic waste. That is, United States is the right answer. Next, the text suggests there is not a strong connection between poverty and environmental degradation. Is false. The text suggests there is not a strong connection between poverty and environmental degradation. It is false. Most people agree that global climate change is not a real environmental threat. It is also false. 80% of the world's resources are consumed by about 20% of the world's people is correct. So it is true. Loss of indigenous culture is accompanied by loss of unique understanding of nature is true. So again, loss of indigenous culture is accompanied by loss of unique understanding of nature is true. Next, an important reason for determining the size of a society's ecological footprint is determine the sustainability of its lifestyle is true. An important reason for determining the size of a society's ecological footprint is to determine the sustainability of its lifestyle is true. There is widespread global interest in China's attempt to deal with environmental issues because all of them is correct. That is, increasing and economic activity has increased China's demand for goods and raw materials. Pollution generated in China impacts other nations, including the United States. China is the world's largest producer of many pollutants, including carbon dioxide. All the above are correct. So one of the earliest model for conservation in the United States was based on utilitarian conservation, for which nature was conserved not to protect biodiversity but to provide jobs and resources. This is a true sentence. Okay. The first Nobel Prize for environmental action was awarded in 2004 to Wangari Maathai. There is concern over the continued ability to provide adequate food for our growing population, because our 2 by 3 of all agricultural lands showing sign of degradation. Next, critics sustainable development suggests that we are limited by what? Non-renewable resources and the capacity of the biosphere to absorb waste. These two are correct. So our right answer is this one. Critique sustainable development suggests that we are limited by non-renewable resources and the capacity of the biosphere to absorb waste. Okay. Thank you.